forget that for them, the service starts a half hour before us. So we really appreciate you being here and bringing us in. So thank you, Stolen Thunder. Oh. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno. My name is Lori Tidyman-Jones, she, her, leader of this worship service as a member of the worship arts team. And I believe you know Karen Urrutia Polnitz, she, they, our Director of Lifelong Learning. We are so happy to see you here this morning.
Bienvenidos a la Iglesia Unitaria Universalista de Fresno. Mi nombre es Karen Urrutia Ponetz, mis pronombres son ella o ella, y yo soy la directora del aprendizaje de por vida. Mi compañera Lori Tidyman-Jones es la líder de este servicio como miembro del equipo de artes de adoración y su pronombre es ella. Nos alegra mucho estar con ustedes esta mañana.
Before we're in a clappy mood today, okay. Before we go further, we want to remind those of you on our virtual campus, if you have any joys, sorrows, concerns, gratitudes you'd like to share, text them to 559-239-6543. This morning, we want the congregation to also offer a welcome here to each other on Facebook Live and YouTube. Karen and I will list some particular folks to be welcomed here today, and you'll be joining in with voices with an enthusiastic "you are welcome here" when we signal you thusly. So, we're really good at that. Let's do it again. Yeah, you want to practice? All right, ready? Everybody here, everybody there.
You are welcome here.
All right, you caught on. All right. So any of those, for you attending virtually, you can put in your chat aloud, "You are welcome here."
No matter if you are young, old, or in between, you are welcome here.
No matter the color of your skin,
you are welcome here. No matter your gender or sexual orientation, you are welcome here.
No matter your abilities, talents, or skills, or lack thereof,
you are welcome here. No matter your economic or employment status, you are welcome here.
No matter your, where am I? From, where you're from, your culture, or your language,
you are welcome here. No matter your history, you are welcome here.
No matter how you're feeling today,
you are welcome here. Whoever you have been, are, or will be, you are welcome here. Let's put our welcome into action by greeting folks we maybe don't know or don't know well, either in the chat box or in person.
Okay, you guys. I love the energy. I don't know if it's the song or the choir or both, but that was certainly energizing. You may have noticed that Reverend Tim Kutzmark, our minister, is not up here today, but usually he's gone because he gets a weekend once in a while to refresh himself. But today, we are lucky enough to have him in our audience. Yay! And it's a little weird. But I think good for both of us, right? Learn on both sides. I must implore you, however, he is here voluntarily, and he is not working, so you may not bring up any church business, all right? He's just another one of us trying to get to coffee, right? So this month's theme is freedom. And our guest speaker this morning is Dr. Kathleen Schock, who is faculty at Fresno City College, but I'll introduce her before she shares her wisdom through her sermon, Freedom, Faith, and Facts, Guiding the Next Generation of Journalists Through Troubled Times. Quite apropos, right? Well, freedom of the press was expressly written into the Constitution with a knowledge that a democracy cannot be sustained without the people having access to what is happening in their country in order to act to preserve their government as a government of the people. We do this to avert the onslaught of tyranny. As we see the diminishing of newspapers, the dependence on social media and corporate ownership skewing the news for their benefit, together we must ponder our future and the future of generations to come. So now, let us sound the tingsha, quiet our hearts and minds, and ease us in to this. I've had people tell me that when things go wrong, that's their favorite part of the service. We now have two. Oh, that's funny. All right, now, as I was saying, ease into this time of reflection together.
Online folks, if you would like to light a candle or chalice with us in the sanctuary, please grab one as we'll be lighting it soon. The prophets died for the freedom of faith. We are here in their spirit. We are here to practice and sustain our living tradition, to light a chalice, claiming for justice the heat and power of fire. In our free faith, we are here seeking freedom from despair, the freedom to be loved as ourselves, and the freedom to grow beyond imagination. We are here gathered in the name of all that we find holy. Let us give thanks for the gift of gathering here. I invite you to please read together with me. We are here in the spirit of the prophets who died before us. We are here to practice and sustain our living tradition, to light a chalice, claiming for justice the heat and power of fire. In our free faith, we are here, seeking freedom from despair, the freedom to be loved as ourselves, and the freedom to grow beyond imagination. We are here, gathered in the name of all that we find holy. Let us give thanks for the gift of gathering here. In that spirit, please light your chalice or candle at home, and Lori, please light our Alluvial Avenue chalice. Please stand now in body or in spirit. Join me in singing one more step. Please remain standing and join me in reading our mission statement. La misión de la Iglesia Unitaria Universalista de Fresno es amar inclusivamente, crecer espiritualmente, servir con gratitud y trabajar por la justicia. The mission of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno is to love inclusively, grow spiritually, serve gratefully, and work for justice. Please be seated. Hello again. I have a Director of Lifelong Learning hat on now. And I have a question for everyone. Has anyone ever heard or read a story that you weren't quite sure was true or not? What about some of my younger friends in the building? Have you ever heard a story or read something and you were like, I don't know if this really happened? Yeah, maybe? So we're gonna play a round of the game Telephone. Is anyone familiar with this game? Yeah, and we're going to explore how stories and words shift as they are told from one person to another. And so I am looking for 6 children or youth volunteers, and I need 3 of them to be readers. So can I start with 3 readers? I saw Clem's hand there. That's amazing. And I need 2 more. 2 more readers. Come on over. And I need one more reader. Awesome, yeah, come on up. Okay, wonderful. And another one. Okay, fabulous. And then come, let's go down right here so we stay away from the fire a little bit. Over here. Yeah, okay, cool. So I'm gonna give each of you a paper slip, and you 3 can see it, but don't let anybody else see it yet, because it's got our special phrase. And then we're gonna pass it along the 3 main sides of the room, down
down the line to 3 people, and then at the end, I'm gonna have you listen for, actually, I would love to have 3 other volunteers, because they will know what the phrase is. So I'll work on recruiting those folks as it goes down the line. And then those folks are gonna tell us what they heard, and we're gonna see, does it change, does it stay the same? What happens to this phrase? And you can keep it so that you can read it the first time. There's one for you. And there's one for you. Okay, and then, okay, awesome, thank you. Yes, kids at heart are so welcome for this. Okay, but you can't look at these ones yet. Okay, so then, let's see. Clem, can I have you go and tell John, my friend John over there? John, can you raise your hand? You're gonna be our first telephone recipient, and you're gonna pass it down your line a little bit. And then, Kim, if you can receive it from a few people down there. And what's your name? Ozzy? Ozzy, can you tell my friend Paula? Paula, can you raise your hand? And can you tell my friend Paula your phrase? Paula, can you raise your hand for us so we see? Can you go tell Paula your phrase? And then over here, let's see. Come this way. What's your name again? Odin. Okay, come this way. We're going to go to this side. And let's see. We're going to tell Kyle, my friend Kyle, our phrase. Kyle told me that they really wanted to participate today. So, okay. So can you whisper it in Kyle's ear? And then we're going to pass it down to at least 3 people. So have at least 3 people received it? Okay, so did you whisper the phrase? Did you hear the phrase at all? A little bit of it? I read it. Oh, okay, we're going to do this a little bit different. Can I have my friend over here, my friend Eliana, raise her hand for us? And can you tell Eliana the phrase? We're going to try it right there. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, that's totally fine. We're going to get this going. Okay, so have a few people received it on each row? Yeah, we pass it down? Yeah? Okay. Let's see. Ashley, did you get the phrase? Will you read it out for us and see what you get? And then right there, Oliver's grown up. Can you hold the phrase right there? Oh no, that's fine. We can go one more. We got time. Okay. Okay. And then Kim, do you want to receive it from someone? Or actually, I think we have a few people at the ends who I can get. Okay, awesome. So my friends who are sitting, who started the phrase, will you sit right here on the chancel if you're comfortable with it for just a moment so you can tell us what the phrase was supposed to be? Not yet, but when we hear what the phrase turned into on all sides of the room. All right, so we have everybody holding the phrase on the end, and they're going to share out what they heard. So I'm going to pass it over here, and will you tell us what you received from the telephone line?
9 friends were exploring what to bring to the party.
Okay. So we have 9 friends were exploring what to bring to the party. And over here, hi, welcome. Thanks for participating with us. What did you hear from the telephone line?
9 people were exploring 5 acres to bring biscuits to the party.
Oh. 9 people were exploring 5 acres to bring biscuits to the party. And then over here we have it.
Okay. 5 friends went to 9 planets for biscuits.
Okay, so all 3 of my friends started out with the same message. Can you read it out loud all together for us? 1, 2, 3.
5 friends went exploring to visit 9 new planets and bring back biscuits.
Okay, awesome. Give them a round of applause. So did what we get, you can stay here if you want to, or you can return. Did our phrases change a little bit? Yeah, they did. Did we get some pieces of the truth? Yeah, but it changed a little bit. Why does that happen, do you think? They heard it wrong, or they heard a different piece of it. Yeah. It sounds like a lot of people, was there a party in there? No, it sounds like a lot of our friends might want to go to a party though, because there were parties that came out of nowhere, which I respect. From the planets, yeah, so sometimes we hear something and it gets a little bit changed. So, if you want, you can say here. So what does this tell us about the stories that we hear? If they go through multiple people and sources and places, sometimes they don't land to our ears exactly how they were intended. So how do we know what is true or what to trust? We can evaluate who we've heard a story from. Do we know that they've told the truth in the past? Do they share our values? Do they listen really well? Have we seen that they care about other people and try to do the right thing? Maybe, like in our game of telephone, we can trace the message back. We can go back to find out where the story originally came from and get more information from the person or the people who really were there and know what happened, or who got that little piece of paper from the envelope. Perhaps along the way, we could get various perspectives to contribute to our own understanding. And then, how do we know whether or not to pass along a story? Sometimes I like to ask myself a few questions to help me decide. A well-known thinker, Socrates, would perhaps invite us to think about 3 questions before we would repeat a story. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? Thank you so much. And for our friends who would like to go and do some more exploration, we are not going to 9 planets to look for biscuits, unfortunately, but maybe we could pretend. We are going to head down the center aisle, and I will be going with you, and we are going to go out for our time of spiritual exploration. And my adults and grown-ups, will you please sing us out? We'd love to hear your voices as we leave. Thank you so much, everyone.
We hold you in our love as you go, May your heart be at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious life, we hold you in our love as you go.
We could all use a moment of peace, right? The incessant noise of bad news, and I have to put in with that, we bring here today, I know probably everyone is feeling the trauma of news from last night and the bombings that occurred. That incessant noise there, the incessant noise of that bad news, the streets, the government, social media, so much that pulls us off center, aware from where we want to be and where we need to be. So let's take this moment to find that place. Quieting our mind and soul, counting our breath, letting our spirits be still, wreathed in love. So let's just do that. Let's close our eyes and pause together, emptying our minds and hearts. Then let's take a breath in and out. Nothing big, just in and out and in and out and in and out. Now listen for a few moments to the silence, for the inner hum that dances towards peace. Part of the listening in this service is listening to the joys, sorrows, gratitudes, concerns that are expressed through online, and also from the cards that are written on the back before the service. Here are some of those today. From John Romancic, I am joyful because of the birth of my niece, Abigail. From Patty P., many thanks to all those folks who worked to make Chalice Camp happen. Many memories were made for kids and adults. Cheyenne would love to give big thank yous to the volunteers who deep cleaned the kitchen yesterday. And yeah. That is not a glamorous job, and one that people will necessarily notice, but having worked in the kitchen this last week, it needed it desperately. So many thanks go to Mary McDonough, Missy Reinhardt, Debbie Aki, Mike Palmer, John Richardson, Ken Ma, Angelique Tovar, Catherine Tan. And Catherine Tan is a returning UU member, so that's cool. And lastly, from Yvonne Feeve, as a youth, my family lived on the U.S. Naval Base at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. From 1960 to 62, we had limited access to the people and culture of Cuba and the surrounding Caribbean islands. But we were fortunate to have a civilian domestic worker who helped my mother with the 6 of us daily. She was a Haitian woman married to a Cuban national. She was named Ivy Paul. She filled our lives with joy and laughter every day. I remember Ivy as a part of the Caribbean Heritage Month. Thank you. What a beautiful story. So let's also hold in our thoughts people whose health is compromised or their mobility is not what can get them here, but they are all with us in spirit. Dominic P., Myrna S., Glenda R., Pat M., and Robin C. Continue to hold on what has been shared in this community, but let's also look beyond these walls. It is still National LGBTQIA+ Pride Month, and we want to continue to recognize, treasure, and stand with this community. Remember that freedom to be oneself is still a long reach for many people, particularly considering the current climate and breach of rights for our friends who experience this on a daily basis. In keeping with our focus today on journalism and freedom of the press, I'd like us to hold in our hearts and act on behalf of the current attrition of access to news publications. Since 2004, the United States has lost 1/4, 2,100 of its newspapers. Many communities that lost them were most vulnerable, struggling economically and isolated. With this prayer, I encourage us to support in words and sustain through actions local publications of your choice. There's still some out there. We have Community Alliance, Fresno B, Fresno Land, and they need our support. So for all we have shared this morning, we light the candle of community. We also, you might have noticed, we have another candle. And this particular candle is the candle of compassion, resistance, and hope. At a time when so much is under attack by the federal government and those who support its message, we maintain compassion as we resist, and we hold hope in our hearts that through our compassionate resistance, love may prevail. You've gotta keep your heart wide open, though the waves wanna push you around. You've gotta keep your heart wide open till your faith brings you back to solid ground. I'm gonna keep my heart wide open, though the waves wanna push me around. I'm gonna keep my heart wide open till my faith brings me back to solid ground. We've got to keep our hearts wide open, though the waves wanna push us around. We've gotta keep our hearts wide open till our faith brings us back to solid ground. Spirit, great mystery. Our hearts are open. Our minds are ready. We wait to learn and grow. Espíritu, gran misterio, nuestros corazones están abiertos. Nuestras mentes están listas. Esperamos aprender y crecer.
like that river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there beyond the skies. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. I go to the movies and I go downtown, and all they keep on telling me is, girl, don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. And then I go to my brother and I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Well, there were times that I thought I wouldn't last for long, but now I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Oh, yes, it will.
While you're standing, you might as well stay there because I'm going to ask you to stand. Don't sit down. Oh my gosh, thank you, Danny. Don't we need to feel that? A change is going to come for the better. All right, we are going to sing together now, The Fire of Commitment. That brings change, right?
Into faith and free from fear. When the fire of commitment sets our minds and soul ablaze, which demands a deeper justice built by our just choice. When the fire of commitment sets our minds and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin.
I'm feeling better as the service goes on. Our speaker this morning is Dr. Kathleen Schock, who's an instructor at Fresno City College, where she leads the journalism program and is advisor to the Rampage, Fresno City College's student-run media organization. Before her career in education, it's quite impressive, Kathleen worked as a broadcast journalist for NBC News in New York City. I know, I said impressive. And locally at CBS 47 and KVPR. She also worked in public relations at Pelco and Fresno State. Her community involvement includes serving on boards of Fresnoland, yay, the Journalism Association of Community Colleges, and the Institute for Media and Public Trust. She lives in Fresno with her husband and their 2 cats, and we don't have their names, so we're gonna just go ahead and believe her. So please welcome with me Kathleen Schock.
So my boys are named Simon and Otto, so just, yeah. I cannot tell you what an honor it is to be with you today, and the fact that you are interested in hearing about the work that we're doing at Fresno City College and the future of this profession that I hold so dear. So thank you so much for having me. So I'll start out by just calling out the elephant in the room, which is, yes, it is a really scary time for a student to decide to pursue a career in journalism for a lot of reasons. The media is under attack in ways that I never thought was possible, and it's really terrifying. So I have a bunch of statistics. They're a real bummer. I'm not gonna read them for the sake of time. I think you all get it. But yes, all of these things are happening. Journalists are being detained, arrested, subjected to violence. It's a lot. Then there's the economics of our profession, which have just completely changed. You know, how do we get people, in a world where information is free, why would somebody pay for information that they frankly probably don't even want? So we've got to figure that out. You know, then on top of that, we've got this artificial intelligence monster that's looming over our head, right? Boo, right? We don't know what that's going to mean for us. So there's just an enormous amount of uncertainty. So when I, start to feel my blood pressure rise and I get, breathing really heavy, what I focus on are the things that haven't changed. And that's the core principles that drive our work, the codes of ethics that we observe as journalists. The same codes of ethics that I was taught by my professors are the ones that I teach to my students that they will take into their careers and pass on to the next generation. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna take you through those codes of ethics and give you some examples of how they've guided the work in our newsroom on campus. But just a little bit about the newsroom. So the Rampage is a student-run publication, and when I say student-run, I mean student-run. They have complete editorial control over what stories to cover, who's going to cover the story, how the story is going to be covered, and when it is ready for publication. I have no say. So as the advisor, I am in many ways the least powerful person in the room, okay? But, you know, I work really closely with my students, and so that's why these codes of ethics are so foundational, because that's going to help them make decisions when I'm not in the room to guide them. And then one more thing about the Rampage that I think makes me love it the most is that it is open to everyone. When you were doing your welcome, it made me think about that's exactly how it is at the Rampage. All you have to do to join the staff is enroll in Journalism 11A. That's it. So students come in with the widest array of backgrounds you could possibly imagine. And the magic that happens in the newsroom is when the student editors can identify each person's unique talent, gift, interest, and find a way to plug that into the organization in a way that benefits them and the organization as a whole. It is the living embodiment of DEI, without any of the language being on my course description or anything. We just live it. It's great. Thank you. Okay, so the first code of ethics that we live by, and I should say these are established by the Society of Professional Journalists. They are the gold standard in our industry, and they're practiced, these guidelines are practiced in any newsroom that's worth its salt. So the first code is to seek the truth and report it, which I think of as the right, code of ethics. But it's actually a lot more complicated than it sounds, because the truth can be a really slippery thing, and it can mean different things for different people. And on top of that, when we go out to report a story, there are a million decisions that need to be made that are going to shape how that story is received by the audience. Decisions around who we talk to, who we don't talk to. Decisions around what kind of language do we use to describe things? What kind of images do we select to accompany that story? All of these things are deeply important. So I'm going to give you a story that actually involves all of you a little bit. So last year, we were paid a visit, we meaning the Central Valley, were paid a visit by the Westboro Baptist Church. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, so so we all know who they are. We don't need to waste time on that. Is that fair? Okay, they're a group that goes around the country and does anti-LGBTQ protest. They say some very, very, very vile things about that community. So one of the protests that they did was at Roosevelt High School, and my newsroom, my team, decided they wanted to cover it. And so the young man that they were sending out to cover the event came to me beforehand, and he said, oh, I should also say, so this is the good news. So yes, the Westboro Baptist Church came out to do their little protest, but a huge crowd of counter-protesters, I should say, came out in support of the LGBTQ community and totally overshadowed the Westboro Baptist Church. So before the event, my student said, hey, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna talk to the counter-protesters, I'm gonna get video, all that stuff. I'm also gonna talk to the Westboro Baptist Church people. And I said, let's talk about that. Like, they are a hate group. And that's not me saying that, that's the Anti-Defamation League. That's the Southern Poverty Law Center classifying them that way. Do you want to use your platform to elevate their voice? And the student I was talking to happens to be a member of the LGBTQ community. And so there was also a part of me that went full mama bear and didn't want them to be subjected to that. So we had a conversation as a newsroom. And what the students decided is that yes, they did want to talk to them, but that they would use care and discretion with what they were going to do with that information when it came time to report it out. And so what they ultimately did is they did include a quote from the Westboro Baptist Church in their story, but it was contextualized. It was toward the end of the article. It was sandwiched by context and by the voices of the counter-protesters, including your very own Reverend, who is quoted in the article. So I feel like they did a good job of accurately reflecting what happened, giving a voice to both sides, but doing it in a way that was balanced and that minimized harm to the community that it was affecting, which takes me to my next code of ethics, which is minimize harm. Now notice I don't say do no harm, because the telling of the truth sometimes causes harm. It just does. But I tell my students all the time, we are people first and journalists second. And so that's what guides us. So, short story, and I won't go into too many details because it's really, really sad, but we had a young woman die on our campus a few years back. And so my reporters, they covered the story. It was a big story for them. And they reported it really, really well. I was really proud of the work that they did to verify her identity, to get a sense of who she was and her light and her life and those who loved her. So they published their story, and shortly after, one of the reporters is contacted by the family of the young woman who died. And the family said, please take her name from the article. We don't want her name published. And there's reasons for that that I won't get into, but so we had a conversation, as we do. And half of the newsroom said, no, she was a member of our campus community, and we went so far as to verify her identity with the coroner's office. We want to include her name. It is part of the story. But the other half of the newsroom said, at what cost? Do we really feel comfortable continuing to inflict harm on a family that is grieving? So they took her name off of the story. And it's a decision that honestly, I don't think most newsrooms would have done. But I was really proud of my students because I think it speaks to their kindness. But I think it also is an acknowledgement of the fact that they are deep members of the community that they report on, and they know that in order to maintain trust with their audience, they need to be responsive to their needs. Okay, so the next code of ethics is to act independently. So we need to avoid any conflicts of interest, real or perceived. So, for example, there's no money exchanged between us and somebody we're covering, right? They don't pay us, we don't pay them. I go so far as to tell my students, if you're interviewing someone and they want to buy you a coffee, politely decline. I want no conflict of interest. It's real cut and dry when it comes to money. It's real murky when it comes to the expressions of our opinions outside of work. So, the standard would always be, or that I was taught, was that, journalists don't endorse candidates, they don't put, bumper stickers on their car, they don't express their personal opinions in any way, so that we are free to report without that burden. I will say that's changing. The world is changing. What things that I don't find political, other people do. So it's murky. So, okay, I have a student, awesome student. He was really activated when the war broke out in Gaza. And he wanted to use his platform with the Rampage to tell stories about the protest, to tell stories about the Palestinian community in Fresno. But he also wanted to protest and put his body on the line in solidarity. And so we had a pretty heavy talk, and he really pushed, he was like, why can't I do both? And I said, you can, but there's a consequence. Will your reporting be diminished if people know how passionate you are on this topic? And so we went around and around, and ultimately he decided that he could make a bigger impact as a reporter with his stories than he could as an individual protester. But it's a dance that, every journalist has to navigate. Early in my career, I remember talking to my professor about it. He said, I had a pride sticker on my water bottle, and he said, you better not take that to a job interview. And I said, if there's a newsroom that has a problem with a sticker, then I don't belong in that newsroom. Now, it's never been a problem for me, but like it's a tricky thing to navigate, or can be. And then the last code is to be accountable and transparent. So that means when we screw up, and it's when, not if, we're humans, we have to acknowledge that mistake and fix it. So that's why I'm sure you've seen corrections at the bottom of articles. That's why instead of just fixing it online, journalists should take the extra step to acknowledge that they got it wrong first. It is deeply humbling. Okay, so this is kind of a funny story. So my very first semester as the advisor, students were put out a print edition of the paper. I should say it's therampageonline.com if you want to check out their work online, follow them on social media, and then they also do print. Okay, so they put out a print edition, and they design it in InDesign using a template, and the template has like fake language in it, right? Well, a couple of years before, one of the students thought it would be funny to take the fake language in the template and make it a little spicy, a little racy, okay? So they put out the print edition, and in one of the layouts there was a pull, what we call a pull quote. So that's when you see like a single quote that's in big font that's kind of next to the rest of the article. Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay, so there was one of those, and the quote was from a very high-ranking administrator on campus. And so they had the quote right, they had her name right, but where her title should have been, it said, "Some schmuck." It was real bad. Like, you know that knot you get in your stomach when you screw up? Like, imagine a whole room full of kids with like that knot. Like, you could just feel it in the air. It was like thick. Okay, so they contacted this woman and apologized, and she did not have a sense of humor about it at all. But they knew that they had to do more than just apologize. So for the next print edition, they dedicated their editorial to explaining what happened, how it happened, apologizing for it, and detailing the steps that they were taking to make sure that nothing like that ever happened again, okay? So a couple days later, we're walking across campus, and we ran into the college president. And I was with a couple of my students, and I could just feel them tense up because they knew she was gonna come over and say something to them about it. So she walks over to them and she goes, "You screwed up, bad, but you owned up to it. You took accountability and you apologized sincerely. And in doing so, you demonstrated a level of civility that many of the grown-ups on this campus could learn a lot from." And so they walked away and their chests were all puffed out. They felt great. It was a bad screw up, but it was a great learning opportunity. So those are our codes, right? That's it. Those guide every decision we make in our newsroom. And I've always known, journalistically, that these codes, be accountable and transparent, minimize harm, seek the truth and report it, all these things help make great, good, ethical journalism. It wasn't until I became a teacher that I learned they also help to make good, ethical people. So I was just at a conference in Wisconsin for journalism educators, and one of the speakers is a staff attorney for CNN, but before that, he did a lot of legal work supporting student media. And he had just published an article about student media, about journalism, and he read an excerpt from it, and I'm just gonna close with this excerpt because I think he says it better than I possibly could. He writes, "If you set out with a blank page to design a civics course meeting the challenges of the 21st century, here's what it might look like. Students would be encouraged to examine and debate current events, focusing on close-to-home events salient to their daily lives. They would learn to be critical consumers of online information, looking for signs of bias or unreliability. They would develop the discernment to identify high-quality information about issues of public concern and to build effective arguments based on verifiable facts. This optimally effective civics course is no fantasy. It exists today, and it is called journalism. Thank you.
All the chains holding me. I wish I could say all the things I could say. Say 'em loud, say 'em clear, for the whole round world to hear. Say 'em loud, say 'em clear, for the whole round world to hear. I could share all the love in my heart, remove all the bars that keep us apart. I wish you could know what it means to be me. Then you'd see and agree everyone should be free. Then you'd see and agree everyone should be free. I wish I could give all I'm longing to give. I wish I could live like I'm longing to live. I wish I could do all the things that I can do. Though I'm way overdue, I'd be starting anew. Though I'm way overdue, I'd be starting anew. Well, I wish I could be like a bird in the sky. How sweet it would be if I found I could fly. I'd soar to the sun and look down at the sea. And then I'd sing, 'cause I know. Yeah, I'd sing, 'cause I know. I said I'd sing, 'cause I know how it feels to be free. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hallelujah.
Hello, everyone. You know, I was a former newspaper journalist myself, so this is pretty interesting. And so I'd like to offer this poem, "When Giving Is All We Have" by Alberto Rios. We give because someone gave to us. We give because nobody gave to us. We give because giving has changed us. We give because giving could have changed us. We have been better for it. We have been wounded by it. Giving has many facets. It is loud and quiet, big, though small, like finding a diamond in Woodnell's. Its story is old, the plot worn and the pages too. But we read this book over and over again. Giving is, first and every time, hand to hand. You give me blue, I give you yellow, and together we're a simple green. You gave me what you did not have, and I gave you what I had to give. Together, we made something greater from the difference. Thanks.
In that spirit, let's read together the words of offering as they appear on the screen in both English and Spanish. If not us, then who? If not open hearts, then what? If not now, then when? If not here, then where? If not generously, then how? If not us, then who? Si no somos nosotros, entonces ¿quién? Si no corazones abiertos, entonces ¿qué? Si no es ahora, entonces ¿cuándo? Si no es aquí, entonces ¿dónde? Si no damos generosamente, entonces ¿cómo? Si no somos nosotros, entonces ¿quién? If this is your first or second time in our service, we ask you to let the basket pass you by. Your being here is just a plain gift, and we appreciate you. As you can see on the slide, the rest of us can either make an electronic donation or place your contribution in the basket that will be passed. Whatever you can give this morning, large or small, will make the difference in our ability to continue to provide our gift to this place and to you. So let's have the baskets pass now in the sanctuary while we are serenaded right now. We extinguish this chalice flame, daring to carry forward the vision of this free faith. That freedom, reason, and justice will one day prevail in this nation and across the earth. Though the chalice light is extinguished, the light of this gathering will illuminate our way. Please join in our chalice extinguishing words. Extinguimos esta llama, pero no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevaremos en el corazón. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts. Well done. well, we have some important reminders for you this morning, and so join with me here. All right, so first of all, Cecily Callahan is here, our coordinator of community life. Yay! She is here to help new and newish people. Actually, she helps me a lot. I'm old. Cecily can answer questions and help orient you to this place, so don't hesitate to tap into her as a wonderful resource. We invite you to stay for coffee hour and enjoy conversation in our courtyard. One of the tables there, I see it right through the doors here, a turquoise tablecloth with a big sign that says visitors. Any of you who are visiting, that's a place to go after you grab some coffee. There will be a board member there. Sometimes other people go over there just to have a conversation that's kind of already set up, and also a place you can ask questions. The BIPOC group brunch is happening today, so if you happen to be in that BIPOC world, you don't have to have made a reservation. We want you to come to the youth room, or otherwise known as the garage. It's straight out there, and if you need direction, don't hesitate to ask anybody. It's also available for Zoomers, so you will be able to be there too in spirit. So please join them. Also after church, there's a climate future film screening in the sanctuary, 10 short films from 4 continents to give insights into and paths toward climate empowerment, and it's free. I don't know, is there gonna be popcorn? I guess not. Next, this sounds big, like we're doing a lot, but next Sunday's a really big day and you need to be here. During the service, we will be honoring, celebrating, and expressing our gratitude for Lorenzo Bassman, our music director. And as only you viewers can do it, after the service, we'll have champagne to celebrate, cake, and the spoken appreciation. So now you're really interested in coming, I know that. And then after that service, you can pick up your pre-ordered nachos. Please pay today. There's a table out there, $15 for singles, and the family ticket is $30, family in quotes. This is a fundraiser by the Moms Group, and no one will be turned away for lack of funds next Sunday, but we appreciate pre-tickets so they know how much to prepare. And now I want to hand it over to Reverend Tim, who is here for an appreciation of another staff member.
Good morning, everybody. I have to say, sitting in the seats, it's an amazing energy that you create here. This is just an awesome community. 8 years ago, a beautiful young couple crossed into this sanctuary, and those of us who met them that Sunday and the next Sunday knew that they were carrying a light that was special and unique. I'm hoping somebody's going to make sure. Is Karen here already? Oh, good. So, Karen and Troy, about 8 years ago, 3 years ago, when we were looking for a new director of lifelong learning, I knew Karen was thinking about career change. And Karen is an amazing actress, dancer, writer, graphic designer, and is one of the most spiritually authentic and grounded people I have ever met. I am humbled by her integrity and authenticity. So we offered the job to Karen. She said yes, and for the last 3 years, she's served this congregation so well. About 6 months into her first year, unexpectedly, Karen and Troy relocated to Madison, Wisconsin. Rather than lose Karen, we completely reorchestrated the job so Karen could do about 85 to 90% of the work remotely, and we strengthened our on-campus teaching team that she coordinated long distance. So for 3 years, we have been blessed by Karen's presence. But there is an awesome Unitarian Universalist church in Madison, Wisconsin, one of the largest in the country, about 2,000 members. And I knew it was just a matter of time until they realized who was living among them. And so they offered Karen the job, and next week she will begin as the new director of religious education in Madison, Wisconsin. And we want to thank her for 3 years of exceptional service. Karen.
So I've been waiting to do this because when I came on campus, last Sunday, we were getting all ready for Chalice Camp, and I couldn't say goodbye and give all the love that I wanted to. But I remember when we came here the first time and we sat over in that section, and I knew that I had found my spiritual home the first service that we experienced here in this sanctuary, and this community nourished us with food when our child was born and in the hospital, and has celebrated us through many changes. And it has been my absolute joy to serve you as Director of Lifelong Learning. Truly, truly, truly. I love all of you so, so much, and we'll miss you dearly, and know that we will be connected by heart for all of time. So thank you so much for this incredible community and for the time that we have all shared. Thank you.
Ya te extraño. Our tradition at this church is to welcome people who are here for the first, second, and third time. I mean, you must already feel welcome because we've welcomed in every way, shape, and form. But we want to know who you are and just want to thank you for joining us today. So if you don't mind standing for a minute, we will applaud you. And quickly, everyone else will join so that you're not left stranded. So if there's anybody here for the first, second, or third time, if you could please stand. Let's give them all a hand. Welcome so much. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. Now, everyone, join us. Now, if you all stand with our new friends and join hands as you're comfortable, or place your hands over your heart, your loving, dear hearts, for our closing words. Leave in peace, embraced by the light and warmth of our gathering. Leave to act in love, ready again to struggle on. Leave with conviction as a lamp for freedom. Amen? Let's close out with a song.